The center is designed in part to teach people, to the extent that they can be taught, the kinds of skills, the kinds of thought patterns, the kind of behavior patterns that we think are important for leaders to have in this era of changing technology and changing social patterns and changing media. We think that as an institution we have a chance to think about those changes and to teach people how to be prepared for them, how to take advantage of them, and we hope sometimes how to succeed beyond where they could have been otherwise. We hold conferences and we have a convening function where we bring people together to really think about the most profound issues, we hope, of our time in the communications field, where they can, off the record or on the record, be trying to deal with those kinds of issues in the kind of a safe and protected and stimulating environment that only an academic institution makes possible.
We get judged every single day by the newspapers. If we do something today, it's on the streets tomorrow, and you can see whether it works or not, and then we have to answer for it. It has nothing to do with whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. We just want to make things work, and that's what nonpartisanship really is all about.
When you find an approach that actually makes a difference, no matter its origin or ideology, you want to reach out and grab it with both hands, the left and the right.
Business accomplishments, I was proudest of inventing CNN, and even though the Cartoon Network on any given day will have a bigger audience. And then, as far as my sporting achievements, as much as I enjoyed winning the World Series, in the America's Cup I was on the boat. With the World Series I was sitting in the stands. So winning the America's Cup in sports, and the one I'm still working on is to help save the world. So I haven't gotten there quite yet, but I'm working on it.
We all have great ears and eyes and are watching this whole transformation, the biggest transformation of the news media in this country in decades and in modern time. And so we all know that we're hearing what's happening, but I thought that we might want to give you a little bit of a snapshot of what's going on inside of a newsroom. That when you're having a debate about who you're going to send to Afghanistan and who you're going to train and if they're going to understand a story.
There's a dirty little secret about polling. The secret is Americans think a poll is a quiz. And when you ask them a question like that, if you ever listened in to a poll being administered, you ask them, should we keep the same number of U.S. troops and focus on attacking al-Qaeda camps along the Pakistani border? The typical respondent will listen to the question and say, yeah, that sounds okay. And then they'll add, was that the right answer?
You know, you learn nothing from success. Everything I've ever learned in my life has come from failure. The only thing you learn out of success is you learn how wonderful you are, and trust me, you're not that wonderful, right? You learn great things out of failure because it's scary, it's intimidating, it's humiliating, it's embarrassing. There's nothing better than getting smacked on the head with a stick to go, wow, I don't really like that and I don't want that to happen again. And you avoid it and you figure out, what did I do wrong there?
I've been exploring, and we hope that we'll give students the chance to explore, the ways in which new media really can be transformed in this moment and that they can take advantage of it in an academic setting. We think that communication leadership is an especially important trait and set of skills at this time in history because there's such profound changes taking place in technology, in the law, in the social marketplace, and yet there's some constant ethical principles that remain at the core of everything you'd want leaders to do. So we think this is an exciting and important time for communication leadership, but a time when it's in doubt because institutions are changing so quickly.